Chapter 463. There are many people who want to kill me. I don't have time to care about how many there are. Zhou Xuanji replied coldly as he approached Lu Jingfeng on the River of Swords. This was his first time challenging a true god. His heart was filled with excitement. Lu Jingfeng smiled. His smile was filled with killing intent. The number of golden light divine weapons around him reached tens of millions, and they covered the sky and earth. Their might gathered together, causing the earth to tremble. Devil Emperor Dugu and the two tribulation executives looked at him in horror. What a powerful aura. It felt as if the northern wilderness region would shatter at any moment under this pressure. Millions of golden weapons suddenly charged toward Zhou Xuanji. They moved like lightning and the heavens and earth changed color. The primordial chaos sword shadow followed, tearing apart the sky. It was like the beginning of the primordial world, exploding with all kinds of phenomena. Zhou Xuanji and Lu Jingfeng moved at the same time. Facing a true god, Zhou Xuanji directly used nearly 200 swords and unleashed Sword Sect Immortal Ghost Weep. 200 beams of silver light circled around Zhou Xuanji's body and charged at him recklessly. They were so fast that it looked like a gigantic silver orb enveloping Zhou Xuanji. The divine weapons and sword shadows that filled the sky clashed together, forming countless explosions that shook the heavens and earth. The terrifying pressure caused the entire northern wilderness region to fall into a calamity. The various city walls of the five empires collapsed. Countless lakes and rivers churned and the forests swayed. Avalanches occurred on the snowy mountains one after another, and the white impact swept through everything. Especially in the sea, monstrous waves suddenly rose, wreaking havoc on the seaside. The arrival of the calamity was beyond the expectations of all living beings in the world. At the same time, Zhou Xuanji and Lu Jingfeng began fighting amidst the explosions. Zhou Xuanji held both swords in his hands and attacked fiercely. He activated the Sword Soul from time to time, while the Sword Sect Immortal Cry around him continued to attack. But it was a pity that they could not hurt Lu Jingfeng. Lu Jingfeng had many divine abilities and was as fast as a phantom. He moved about continuously and attacked Zhou Xuanji from different directions. With the power of two Armageddon legendary swords and the heavenly law's celestial energy, Zhou Xuanji could barely fight Lu Jingfeng. Immortal energy. Could it be that this fellow obtained the inheritance of the immortal god? Lu Jingfeng was secretly shocked, and killing intent surged in his heart. Zhou Xuanji felt even more pressure. The difference in their realms was too great. Even with the support of two powerful forces, he felt that his body would explode at any moment. It was almost impossible to defeat Lu Jingfeng. Devil Emperor Dugu flew into the air and looked at Zhou Xuanji in shock. This kid, how could he be so strong? How long has it been? His heart was filled with terror. Zhou Xuanji's talent and serendipity far exceeded his imagination. It was so strong that even he was a little afraid. The two tribulation executives were simply excited. As long as Zhou Xuanji defeated Lu Jingfeng, the northern wilderness region would survive another crisis. However, good times don't last long. Boom. Lu Jingfeng slashed down Zhou Xuanji with one slash. His body penetrated through the ground and fell tens of thousands of meters deep. There were rocks all around him and there was no light. Zhou Xuanji gritted his teeth and felt that his internal organs were already shattered. The real god power was really too strong. Lu Jingfeng suddenly rushed in front of him, grabbed his neck with his left hand and flung him up. Zhou Xuanji lost control of his body and flew out from the ground. He crashed through the thunderclouds and was corroded by countless lightning bolts. I don't believe it. Zhou Xuanji activated the Emperor's Wei Thousand Hand Sword Buddha. The 10,000-meter-tall golden Buddha landed steadily on the ground and slashed at Lu Jingfeng with its 1,000 hands. The power of an ant dares to fight against a god. Lu Jingfeng's cold laughter could be heard. A beam of golden light burst through the surface of the earth and slashed the golden Buddha in half. Peerlessly domineering. Zhou Xuanji's body turned golden, and a 9-sword purple Tai Chi diagram appeared on his forehead. He activated World Overlord and gathered the power of the heavens and earth. Pain could be seen on his face. His body had reached its limit and could not take it any longer. But he had to give it his all. If he lost, Jiang Shui, Zhou Shaoxian, Xiao Jinghong, Daoya Old Man, and the others would not be able to escape death. Millions of Emperor Sword Court disciples would die in agony. Go to hell. Zhou Xuanji tossed out the all-evil yin-yang destruction. A black radiance flashed, and the sword penetrated Lu Jingfeng's chest instantly. Void instant kill. Lu Jingfeng was not surprised but smiled mockingly. His body turned illusory and he appeared behind Zhou Xuanji. His hand blade landed on the back of Zhou Xuanji's neck and knocked him down again. Dao Seeker and the man in the woven rush raincoat were in despair. It's over. It's over. There's no escape. Dao Seeker sat paralyzed in the ruins. He was dispirited. Zhou Xuanji, you still want to fight? Lu Jingfeng stood high above like the radiant sun. His voice resounded across the northern wilderness region. Only then did the world understand that a powerful enemy was coming. The Sword Emperor who ascended had returned to fight for them. From what Lu Jingfeng said, Zhou Xuanji was at a disadvantage. The billowing dust was dispersed by the sword qi. Zhou Xuanji got up. The holy light redemption sword pierced into his back to heal him. He twisted his neck and blood flowed from his mouth uncontrollably. Sword sect immortal ghost weep was still going on, but to a powerful true god, it was useless. The difference in cultivation stage prevented the legendary swords from keeping up with Lu Jingfeng's speed. He stared fixedly at Lu Jingfeng. His eyes were filled with ferocity without fear. He charged up into the sky again, but he was struck down by Lu Jingfeng in less than 2 breaths' time. Devil Emperor Dugu understood that Zhou Xuanji could not defeat Lu Jingfeng. Zhou Xuanji was already very surprising to him. He gritted his teeth, took out a skull and raised it above his head. Demon God of the Abyss. Your people beg you to descend and eliminate the enemy for me. His hoarse roar attracted Zhou Xuanji, Lu Jingfeng, and the 2 tribulation executives to look at him. Boom. A beam of black light shot out from the skull and pierced through the clouds. A black hole formed by a black cyclone appeared. Lu Jingfeng's expression changed slightly. He came up to Devil Emperor Dugu in one step and decapitated him. Blood splattered all over the ground. The skull shattered suddenly and dissipated with the wind. Lu Jingfeng looked up at the black hole and his face turned dark. A horrifying demonic might descended. Including Zhou Xuanji, all living beings in the world felt uneasy. It was as though they were facing death. A pair of blood-red eyes appeared in the black hole. They looked extremely evil. It was as though a gigantic evil god was looking down at the mortal world from the sky. Just the eyes alone were so big. It was unimaginable how big his body was. Demon ancestor, Lu Jingfeng said with gritted teeth with an unsightly expression. He did not expect Devil Emperor Dugu to be related to the demon ancestor. No wonder this fellow was able to escape from Han Shuzi's grasp. Whoosh! At this moment, a horrifying suction force exploded. Countless rocks flew up. Zhou Xuanji and the others quickly lowered their bodies so that they would not be sucked away. Far away, countless humans, demons, and beasts were sucked toward the black hole. Ow! What's that? What? Why is it like this? Who can save me? It's over. All sorts of cries and screams could be heard. Zhou Xuanji wanted to save them, but he was too severely injured to do so. Lu Jingfeng made his move. He swung his saber wildly at the black hole. Countless saber qi sliced the mortals along the way into a rain of blood. The saber qi entered the black hole and disappeared without causing any sound or damage. Dao Seeker was enveloped by a powerful radiance, and his expression could not be seen. He said calmly, "Destroy my northern wilderness. Destroy the world." Countless lightning bolts exploded from his body and turned into a lightning net that engulfed Lu Jingfeng. Ah! Lu Jingfeng cried out miserably. The might of the heavenly thunder was so horrifying. The northern wilderness region was facing a calamity, and the heavenly thunder gathered by the tribulation executives was definitely the strongest. It was equivalent to the retaliation of the northern wilderness region. Lu Jingfeng felt that his body would explode at any time, and his soul was also facing the danger of dispersing. He quickly distanced himself from Dao Seeker. Dao Seeker slammed his palms forward and all the lightning bolts shot out. They gathered into a lightning pillar and engulfed Lu Jingfeng. Damn it. Just you wait. If I don't destroy the northern wilderness region, I'm not human. Lu Jingfeng's resentful roar sounded, and his aura dissipated in the heavenly thunder. He no longer existed. Dao Seeker used the power of the tribulation to kill a true god. If Lu Jingfeng was not severely injured, Dao Seeker would not have succeeded. The lightning dissipated, and the powerful radiance on Dao Seeker's body also dissipated. His feet started to petrify and the petrification spread upwards. He took a deep breath and looked exhausted. He looked around and his eyes were filled with reluctance. He had protected the northern wilderness for more than 100,000 years. In the end, he could not escape his fate and died fighting for the northern wilderness. I really hope there's an afterlife, he mumbled to himself. His entire body was petrified, and he turned into a stone man that fell into the raging ocean. A bolt of heavenly thunder struck down. It struck the petrified Dao Seeker into ashes. which were dispersed by the wind. He died without a burial. He's dead. The man in the raincoat stood beside Zhou Xuanji and said calmly. Zhou Xuanji, who was healing himself, opened his eyes in silence. He felt a little complicated. To be honest, he had always been filled with resentment toward the two tribulation executives. The tribulation executives were the witnesses of history. They always stirred people's hearts. When the northern wilderness region faced a true crisis, they could not do anything. But Daoseeker's performance today dispersed his resentment. There was a tinge of inexplicable disappointment in him. That true God is dead. Although the tribulation is over the northern wilderness region. The man in the raincoat sighed. He looked afar and saw waves rising from the crisscrossing valleys. Zhou Xuanji raised his right hand, and over 300 legendary swords appeared. His aura grew tremendously, and he quickly flew towards the white-clothed man. The white-clothed man was so frightened that his guts almost ruptured. He turned around and fled. Zhou Xuanji unleashed the ancestral dragon sword and swallowed him in one gulp, his aura devouring mountains and rivers. The white-robed man was spat out by the five-clawed golden dragon. He was in an extremely sorry state. All the divine swords were aimed at him, and he had no way to retaliate. Wait, I was wrong. I was wrong. I beg you. Please spare my life. The white-clothed man cried out in terror. A true god could not even withstand a single blow from Zhou Xuanji. Zhou Xuanji stopped and transformed back into his original form. The white-robed man fell to the ground, and a pool of blood flowed out from his body. Zhou Xuanji looked down at him and asked, "What will you trade for your life?" The white-robed man didn't dare to look him in the eye. He quickly took off his storage ring and said, "There are many treasures here. Do you want to take a look?" After that, he wiped off the essence blood imprint in the storage ring and threw it to Zhou Xuanji. Zhou Xuanji took it and scanned it with his divine sense. He was quite satisfied. However, his face was filled with murderous intent. Just this much? The white-robed man trembled in fear. He was extremely regretful in his heart. Why was he so foolish? Since his opponent could control such a powerful enchanted artifact, he must not be an ordinary person. He gritted his teeth and said, "I know a secret. I can tell you." Zhou Xuanji looked at him coldly and waited for him to continue. "I found a demonic emperor cave abode, and there's a sword that looks like a divine sword in it. But it's too powerful and I don't have the power to take it. I made a map and you can find it if you follow the map to the mysterious dream forest." The white-robed man broke his sword and took out a map. Demonic Emperor Cave Abode? Divine Sword? Zhou Xuanji grabbed the truth sword and flew up to him. He pierced it into his chest and said, "Is what you said true?" The white-robed man replied instinctively, "Half true and half false." His expression turned into one of horror. "What happened?" Zhou Xuanji snorted coldly, "Tell me the truth." The white-clothed man was terrified as he answered truthfully. The map was real and it turned out that there were many restrictions in that cave abode. Even a true god would find it difficult to break through. He had only seen the appearance of the holy sword from afar and had not truly touched it. Zhou Xuanji kept the map and decapitated the white-robed man, storing his soul into the Qianxia map. Since this brat dared to lie to him, he should not blame him for being ruthless. After storing everything in the storage ring into the supreme storage, he left with the map. Back at the divine cliff, he carefully asked, "Do you know my past life?" Over the years he would often fall into a strange dream. In the dream he was another person, incomparably powerful. "That's right. In your previous life your name was Ji Xian. You were adopted by me so you changed your surname to Ji. You are very talented but unfortunately you offended a genius from the heavenly palace. Your father couldn't protect you so he killed you." Ji Xian. Su Han's body trembled and he fell into a daze. "Follow me to the great thousand world. I can make you as dazzling as Zhou Xuanji. The most powerful genius in the northern wilderness region is Zhou Xuanji. You should have heard of him." The cold voice rang out again, causing Su Han's eyes to shine brightly. Zhou Xuanji. All along he had been fighting for Zhou Xuanji's goal. He had always fantasized that he could stand before Zhou Xuanji and gain his recognition, or even be accepted as a disciple. He took a deep breath and asked, "What's your relationship with Zhou Xuanji?" When he was young, Zhou Xuanji saved him before. He did not want to be Zhou Xuanji's enemy. "Nothing. I have always wanted to meet him," the cold voice replied. Su Han fell into a dilemma. He wanted to become powerful, but he was afraid that Zhou Xuanji would plot against him. But when he thought about how he could become as powerful as Zhou Xuanji, his heart burned with passion. Finally, "Okay, I will go with you," he said with gritted teeth. The ball of black qi engulfed him quickly and swept him away. "Ah, Jixian, you don't know how talented you are. I will help you become a first-class great emperor." At the divine cliff, Zhou Xuanji observed for 3 days but still could not understand the divine sword. At this moment he sensed something and took out his third-rank immortal medallion. The medallion trembled slightly and a voice came, "The Master of God summons you. Immortals above 5th rank head to the God Palace immediately." Zhou Xuanji frowned. Immortal summons? Could it be to deal with Mo Jiuqing? He did not think too much and stored the divine sword into the supreme storage. After that, he flew out of his residence and soared into the clouds. With the third-rank immortal medallion in his hand, he swiftly passed through the 9 heavens and saw the God Palace from afar. Immortals flew toward the God Palace from all directions. Each of them had powerful auras and it was a majestic sight. Zhou Xuanji silently remembered where he was before flying towards the God Palace. Along the way he heard the discussions of the other immortals. What's going on this time? His Majesty is summoning all immortals above 5th rank. Something big is going to happen. Could it be about Mo Jiuqing? It's possible, or it could be something else. No matter what it is, it must be dangerous. These immortals were not from the ancient immortal clans, so they were a little nervous. They were afraid that they would be used as cannon fodder.